So this month literally just finished. It's the 24th, which is interesting to me. But anyways, just quick jumping back in. Was gonna try to do some daily content with Chan, but wasn't able to really keep it up. To be honest, a lot of things going on in life that prevented me, but that's all good. We have our final eight. And those matchups begin on the 27th and the 28th. Those are your quarterfinal setup. It's actually interesting. And the thing about this year's chat is nothing has really stood out. Like, there hasn't been a player for me, or at least for me. Maybe if you guys have been watching and you feel differently about it, but I haven't really felt like any player really jump out and come through and do anything and really stand out and really have a signature moment. Now maybe this starts in the quarterfinals and then semifinals. Let's kind of go over some of the matchups real quick here. Algeria versus Ivory Coast, the hosts. That's happening on the 27th. And also Senegal versus Mauritania on the 27th. And then on the 28th, you have Ghana and Niger. And then Madagascar and Mozambique. Now, if you're new to African football, you're like, where are the other countries who do things? Well, they all probably didn't qualify. Some of the interesting things, like Libya and Ethiopia, had good runs, but a little surprised. You may look and say, okay, where's Morocco? They and Algeria have their issues, and that caused them for not to be here. That's one thing. Cameroon, who was in the group with Niger and Congo, they finished in second. That group was only bringing in one additional team. So if second meant nothing, if you weren't top of the group, you weren't going through. And then Angola and Mali in Group D all fell to Mauritania. Now, you can ask yourself, does it help these smaller countries? Yes, it clearly does. But then, do they have an unfair advantage? Well, maybe. Maybe you have a higher concentration of better players in your local leagues just based off of the size and how much they export. Maybe, maybe not. But this is what this is built for. And I'm kind of curious to see if there's a player on either side in all the teams of the 8 teams. If there's maybe a handful. Let's say if there are 6 players who will really catch our attention as we reach the end of this tournament. I'm really curious, within these 8 teams, I mean, if we're looking at the players who scored goals, I mean, Mahus has 2 for Algeria, Depu for Angola, not there. Anis Saltu, not there anymore. And then, who do we have? Madagascar, really, who have been a bit of a surprise, to be honest. If there is one team, as I contradict myself, if there's one team that's kind of stepped up and really looked good, is Madagascar, finishing top of the group in Group C, winning their 2 games by a combined score of 5-1. Sudan really wasn't able to do anything, but Madagascar truly just has been here and has been performing really well. So I think it's really interesting to see what they're able to do in their matchup versus Mozambique will be interesting because it's a matchup of 2 countries on the national stage. You don't see them too well. I know Madagascar had a nice run in the AFCON a few years back, but Mozambique being here, this is what this tournament is for. It's to highlight the domestic players, but also some of the countries who you may be thinking, hey, maybe these guys are on their way, right? And it's good to kind of keep an eye and see what happens with that. But yeah, right now, Final 8 is here. We're going to keep this real short. Not much to talk about. You tell me what you're excited about if you have been following. Reminder again, extra time penalty shootout, 27th, 28th, and then 31st, and then the 3rd and the 4th. And then this tournament is done. And then we have other things to focus in. If you're wondering where you can catch it, again, beIN Sport is your best bet, especially English-speaking countries, Australia, Canada, France, even though they're French, Hong Kong, the Middle East, and the US. You can catch that all on beIN Sport. So if you got Fubo or beIN Sport, that works. Regional broadcasts, we've got Super Sport, Canada, Sport Afrique, and then beIN Sports as well. And there's other things, other places that are watching it. We'll see what happens. I'm curious to see how this ends. And I'm also just curious to see which players are able to step up and really make a name for themselves. Maybe get a move in Africa, or maybe that coveted move to a bigger league, maybe lower league in Europe, maybe even the MLS. You never know. But I'm curious, guys. You let me know if you've been following what is exciting you. Let's go from there.